Hi guys, and welcome back to RT Share Tea, where respiratory therapists live out loud. With me, your host, Linda Fry, the Asthma Lady. Yes, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you to anybody new, and know that we are growing together. So we got a bunch of new content coming up that I'm working on. But I just let you guys know that I was not here last week because I was on a much needed vacation to Iceland, which was a new experience. We had a siblings trip, myself, my brother, and my sister. It was our first trip, and we wanted to go to a brand new country that we'd never experienced before. So we got the chance to go to Iceland, and we had an amazing time. Such an amazing country. And I guess on my later podcast we could talk about being a respiratory therapist and just traveling all over the place, and so I would like to cover these topics. But this week we're going to be talking about just continuing back, talking about spring cleaning being an ideal time to do home environmental assessments and checking for asthma triggers in the home. And today's episode is going to be specific about dealing with pests. Okay, so I mentioned that on our last podcast, talking about removing boxes, and that these things attract pests. And when I'm talking about pests, I'm specifically talking about roaches, cockroaches, and mice, rats, those type of pests. Yes. But before we go into that topic, I would like you to please like, share, and subscribe, and know that we are here every Wednesday on Google Podcasts at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and we on YouTube every Thursday around the same time. All right, guys. So thank you so much. Look out for us and all the other content. Please excuse my voice is a little raspy. Like I said, I'm just coming back from Iceland, and I believe between all the weather changes, I came back. The minute I got back to New York and New Jersey, I got sick. So I've been on Dayquil, NyQuil, you name it, I've been on it, and I'm still very stuffy, and but I'm here with you guys today. So also, God is good because I am busy. I know a good problem when I see one. So your girl is going to be doing a presentation on asthma education on May 3rd at 12 p.m. on Icon, and the website is the intensivecareonline.com. So you get one free CEU. It's an AARC CEU, and the topic is asthma education with passion from your girl. That's my thing. Come through, have a good time. Come get your one CEU, especially if you're a certified asthma educator. Come get your credits. I'm also going to be speaking on May 21st for QHC seminars, and this is for PFT. Those of you who do PFTs and need credits for that, this seminar, it is 8 CEUs for a good price for $109.99. Okay, so that's May 1st, and I want to say you have access to the content beyond May 21st. So, and everything is on live. All right, guys. So like I said, your girl is busy and she's in demand. May is Asthma Awareness Month. So, there's going to be a bunch of content out for anybody who's in this type of field or who wants to do this type of work. So look out for that, and I will keep plugging those in as we go along. All right, guys. So yes, so I'm going to try to make this quick because like I said, I may just start sounding very nasally and might use my voice while I'm speaking. So I'll make this real quick, like I said. Boom. Okay, so we're talking about pests. So last week I was talking about removing boxes, recommending to patients to pay attention to the boxes that are in their house, and them potentially collecting dust, and even being able to see what you buy and creating clutter. So now the boxes that I was mentioning last week, they attract bugs, like I said, roaches and mice and these type of things. They like to nibble on the boxes, and boxes are warm, and depending on what's in them, these are what attracts bugs and in some folks home, right? So we're starting to talk about cockroaches, mice, rats, these type of pests that may be potential triggers, asthma triggers in the home, and they can be remediated or avoided altogether. Now, pests, I mean, I know this gonna sound wrong, but pests are like people. Okay? So if you give them a free place to stay and you feed them and you're giving them something to drink, that's where they're gonna go. Okay? And not only are they gonna go there, they're also going to bring their friends and their family. So what a lot of folks don't realize is when they start to see one or two roaches, then that problem, which started as a little problem, can potentially become a huge infestation within a short period of time. So folks don't realize what makes this problem goes from a little problem to a big problem so quickly. And so it is things like having boxes, leaving your dishes in the sink for so long, not putting a lid on your trash. A lot of people don't know that the grease behind your stove, underneath the stove, the grease that pops when you from your oil, it pops on the backsplash and behind the stove. This is what attracts roaches and mice and all these things. And so when we clean surfaces, but we forget those areas. So start to tell your patients to look at those areas. So actually when we do home environmental assessments, and like we book IPM, which is Integrated Pest Management Services, they steam clean like the back behind the oven and the stove to get rid of this grease. And a lot of people are not aware of that. Like that is like a hidden spot, right? So understand that at this time that this is not the best time to be using like your bug spray and your bombers and things like that, because another thing that patients don't realize is that when you use these things, yes, the roaches may die, right? But what happens is they die, and sometimes they die in areas you cannot see. So if you bomb, let's say you fog or bomb the house to get rid of a really bad roach problem, and so it's good that the roaches die, but now you have roaches that may have died behind the wall. And understand where the asthma trigger comes from. It actually comes from what is left behind from the pests, from the roaches or whatever. It is the protein on the body parts of the cockroach. You understand? So a lot of people don't know that's what the problem is. So it's actually what they leave behind that is the trigger. So that's why we don't advise using like heavy, like bug spray and bombers. Know that these are triggers too, because of the heavy smell. This should not be used around someone with asthma. You understand? So so when it comes to spring cleaning and when it comes to spring cleaning and dealing with pests, we encourage folks to start with using sticky traps. So start to use sticky traps in places where you start to see a lot of roaches or mice or rats. So the sticky traps will at least give you, it's like your baseline. It will at least let you to start to see like, okay, how bad the problem is. So that's where you start, and that's where you should tell your patients to start. Okay, if you have a really bad infestation of roaches, mice, rats, start with your sticky traps, and then putting them in locations where they're seeing them the most, specifically during the daytime. If you see these things during the day, if you see these pests during the day, that is when you know, okay, this is a high traffic area for these pests. Okay, so go from there, and then we can start to see like, okay, what are the potential areas for remediation or getting rid of them, or whatever services, additional services the patient may need from there. So then they can go to starting to plug up holes and spaces and crevices where these pests can go through, and go further, go beyond that. All right, guys. So thank you so much. I hope that this helped anybody out there that needed this type of information. And if you know folks that have this type of problem, let them know there is nothing to be ashamed of. I live in New York City. I lived in Jersey, and know that sometimes it is not even you that is the problem. Know that in those type of in urban communities, it could be a case of where your neighbor has roaches, you unfortunately have roaches too. So please, we have to start removing the stigma behind this and start to realize that this is a public health issue in the urban community, where folks are just living on top of each other and living in these conditions that attract pests, but they can be remediated and taken care of. So yes, thank you so much for listening, and we're going to continue talking about, just doing home environmental assessments, and especially as we go into Asthma Awareness Month, which is the month of May. All right, guys, so thank you so much, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. We are here every Wednesday on Google Podcasts and or anywhere where you can catch your podcast, and we're here every Thursday on YouTube. And please remember to only compete with yourself, and to oh God, I'm a hot mess. I can't even remember my own say. I told you I've been drinking NyQuil and the DayQuil. But yes, remember to only compete with yourself, and have a good day. All right, guys.